Hey, what's going on guys? Shadow Hollow here, signing and bringing you another Destiny 2 video. So after doing some of the challenges in the raid and watching all my teammates get rewards while I only got tokens and glimmer, I finally was able to get a gun to drop for me. That gun was the Mob Justice, and for those of you who have not seen this gun before, I'll go ahead and inspect it. Let's start with the lore. The lore goes as follows. Life offers fewer greater pleasures than to humiliate the venal aristocracy before a crowd. I am father to the people, and they shall adore me above all others. I never thought of my palace as the true court. The only throne that mattered to me looked down upon the public commons. From that seat, there was no barrier between me and the glorious, adoring mob. I was their father. They were my children. It was there that I brought the corrupt to suffer the people's justice. How they cried as I threw their riches to the crowd. It amused me to see the dawning of realization in their eyes. There would be no safety for them, as there had been no safety for those they had made to suffer. One by one, I tossed those weeping fools to the people. The mob let out a great cry of joy and stripped them of their robes, tore their jewelry from their bodies. So next, let's go over the perks, starting with the intrinsic perk, Adaptive Frame. A well-rounded grip, reliable and sturdy. Fluted barrel, greatly increases handling speed, slightly increases stability. Full bore, greatly increases range, decreases stability, slightly decreases handling speed. Chamber compensator, increases stability, moderately controls recoil, slightly decreases handling speed. Pulse monitor, auto reloads a part of the magazine when a wielder is critically wounded. Ambitious assassin, overflows the magazine based on the number of rapid kills before reloading. And moving target, increases movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down the sights. So after inspecting this submachine gun, I noticed that it was the same rate of fire as the Mida Mini-Tool, and with the Mida Mini-Tool currently being placed as one of the Crucible's metal weapons on Destiny Tracker, I wondered how this gun stacked up to the Mida Mini-Tool and why it's not a metal weapon as well. Especially since it has the same rate of fire but more impact than the Mida Mini-Tool. And from my knowledge of how gun stats work in the Destiny universe, a gun with more impact does more damage. It even says this if you hover over the impact stat when inspecting the gun. So to test out exactly how much more damage the gun did, I went out and did some tests, but what I found was not what I was expecting. After shooting several enemies, first with the mob, and then those same enemies with the Mida, I saw that the Mida, with having less impact than the mob, dealt more damage. To make sure this wasn't some kind of a fluke, I double checked all my armor to make sure I didn't have anything that gave me an increase in damage. Then I went to a different area with a different set of enemies and tried this test out again. The results were the same, shooting the same type of enemies with both weapons with the Mida doing more damage. To be completely fair and transparent, I even took into consideration that my Mob Justice had a higher power level than my Mida, but this still didn't make sense because that would mean that my mob would put me at a higher power level, which would mean I would deal out more damage when I have my mob equipped. But even though my Mida put me at a lower power level, it still did more damage. So needless to do, I made sure I was at the same exact power level when calculating the damage numbers with both weapons with the same set of enemies by switching some guns around and making some adjustments, but the Mida still did more damage. So with all these calculations done, I still had one more test, the Crucible. Now level advantages in a Crucible are disabled, which means any power level variations doesn't even matter. So I played a match using the Mida for a bit. Then in that same match, I switched to the mob to record damage numbers. I also played in other matches and did the same thing and still found that the Mida was dealing more damage than the Mob Justice. The Mida was getting headshots or critical headshots for up to 14 damage, and the mob would not go anything above 13 damage, which means the Mida was doing higher damage on a consistent basis, which means more damage overall. So I'm gonna have to say that the Mida Mini-Tool is the winner here, but what do you guys think? Do you think the Mob Justice is just showing false stats, or do you think Bungie just failed to put the correct damage numbers on this gun? Or is there another angle to this test that I should test out that you see that I didn't see? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely drop a like below. It definitely helps out the channel. Be sure to subscribe for more videos coming along the way, and make sure you hit the notification button to get notified for whenever I post. But that's all from me, guys. I'm Shadow Hollow, signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video.